there's two different types of communication in my mind. You can communicate and present something extremely well with the one goal of, okay, I want this person to understand what I'm doing. But then there's another way of, okay, I want to communicate so well that this person wants to buy my product.
Right.
So what have you noticed in this notary industry when it comes to communication?
What I've noticed in this industry when it comes to communication, particularly with notaries, people who, I agree with you too. Most notaries are professional. They have a professional background. They probably come from some corporate world where they might even have degrees. They may have, multiple degrees or other businesses and things that they do. And then they just find themselves as a notary. They find themselves with a commission. And then they struggle, or things don't go as planned, or things don't move as fast enough. The thing that I've noticed with the notaries in particular is that your intelligence, your smartness, like your level of knowledge is very impressive. And I know it comes across as I have to prove to people that, especially when you say the word legal, I have to prove to people that I am knowledgeable about the law or about what it is that you're trying to do. And what I've known is that doesn't always play to your advantage. What I mean by that is, if someone is looking for what it is that you offer and you tell them about what it is that they have, they already know that. They already have that information. What they're looking for is not the details or what you're trying to give them. What they're looking for is really is more transactional, and it's more results oriented. It's more what it is that they want, what they want to do after they get this done. And you're just a person in between that can help them. So focusing on the document itself, or the type of documents, or the type of appointment itself, yeah, you're knowledgeable and intelligent about that specific. And this is why people study documents, right? This is why people need to know, or they learn about, or they really put an emphasis on the type of document. I need to know the type of document. And that's not always the case, because when you're in a business such as this, especially when you approach like a business, the results is really what the person is looking for. It's what they're trying to do after they get this document taken care of. And the reality is, you don't even know what that is. You don't know. So communicating that, hey, what you're trying to do, whatever it is, but it's always about money. You know that, right? It's always about money. But whatever it is that you're trying to do that's related to money, that is what you can accomplish once you get this document signed. And conveying that message, or communicating that message to people, is really what I think is what professional people struggle with. Because I come from the medical world, and I know that you want to gain trust of your patients. If you're sticking with that medical terminology, and you want to tell this person, your patient, that yeah, we can help you get your elbow fixed or your shoulder fixed, right? Or that stomach condition you've been dealing with. We can help you get that fixed. But even in that situation, what are your goals once you get out of this hospital? What are your aspirations once you leave this exam room? That's really what people want to look forward to. And the same thing applies to the notary industry. So I think communicating that information, that message, is really what helps notaries. And where they go wrong is that they really focus on, or put so much emphasis on, the document itself, which really doesn't, I would argue, doesn't matter at all. It really doesn't, if you're trying to get more points.
So, what would you suggest to notaries as far as being able to close more assignments? Because there is a difference, right? A lot of people come from, like we said, corporate backgrounds. They have multiple degrees. They also come from a, you know, an employee setting type of business. So, but a lot of times they come into the notary business, and that employee mindset transfers over into the notary business, and then they, I guess, we talk about this a lot, that they'll call themselves business owners, and technically you are a business owner as a notary because you are 1099. Nobody's paying for your benefits. You're paying for your own taxes and all that other stuff. But you bring the mentality, and I think that's one of the greatest things there. You bring the mindset of an employee into an entrepreneurial uh, environment, and it affects your business, and you wonder why you're not getting what you're worth. So, Tech, could you speak on that as far as like the business mindset versus the employee mindset in this notary business?
Well, you make a good point, Tiger. Here's the thing. It comes down to you asking more questions. It comes down to the simple and not always easy, but simple task of asking more questions. You got to ask more questions. You got to. You want to close more deals, you have to ask more questions. You can't tell people what they need. You don't know.
Now, just ask them any question, or asking specific type of questions?
You got to ask them specific type of questions. That's a good point. That's a good point. You can't just ask anything. You can't just ask for, hey, can you recommend the best chiropractor for me? Nothing
Right.
to do with anything related to what you offer. Right. But people do that. People ask. People
Mhm.
come to you and they'll ask you for stuff that's unrelated. And now you can always make that, like I said, being in the right place at the right time. How can you make every situation the right place? Make every situation the right time? Well, you can flip that. You can definitely tilt that into your favor, right? Hey, can you recommend a chiropractor for me? My neck hurts. Oh, really? Hmm. Well, it sounds like you might have some issues with your back. Sounds like you might have some issues with your knees. Do you have a document that needs to get signed? You can always change the topic or the subject and tilt it to your favor. So, but what I would recommend well, skip the recommendations, right? Here's the thing. When people come from these corporate backgrounds, and by the way, not all notaries have corporate backgrounds. There are some notaries who are very shisty. All right, let's just keep it real. They see an opportunity to make money because there is money in this industry. Notary is a money product. Don't get that twisted. It is a money product. You are dealing with sensitive information. Maybe there is some social security numbers involved. Maybe there's people's bank account numbers and information, things like that, names and whatnot. This is home mortgages, loans, bank accounts, birth certificates, domestic partnership agreements, LLC licenses, uh, you know, gun permits, you know, business registration. I can go on and on and on. This is no question a money product that you're dealing with. And some people are shysty. Some notaries, they heard that, oh, it's easy to become a notary. So they get into this industry, they get into this field. And
Yep.
then they, with no background, with no type of decency, they struggle answering the phone. They struggle uh, communicating on a decent level to somebody who's dealing with a money product, and then they wonder why it's such a hard time, and then they make excuses about, well, it's because I'm from this neighborhood, or because I'm this, or because I'm that. No, that's not always the case. Sometimes it's you. A lot of times it's you. Maybe I would argue that every time it's you. And if it's not you, then you are yielding that responsibility to something else that's external. So I would say it's always you. It's always look at yourself first. Always address yourself first. How can I make this better? So the corporate backgrounds that people typically come from is, they can use it to their favor. But the way that if you were looking to, and hopefully you are looking to close more deals on your own, by the way, not just with, being a third party, vendor to some title company or signing service who has control over your entire schedule, by the way. You want to retain some of that power on your own. If you were looking to do that and that was your goal, because not everybody is, not sometimes people they're fine, comfortable working, but addressing how you develop your communication, your speech, and the way that you convey your messages to people. What are they going to get out of it, and how are they, and the type of questions that they ask, the type of questions that, not just any question, but the directed questions that end in a result that the customer is looking for. The relevant things: stay relevant, stay consistent, stay competitive. That's what I always try to do. And the questions that I ask, it always relates to me helping this person in the end, trying to figure out what it is that they're trying to do on the end, and first qualifying whether or not I can work with them. So the questions that I ask, the questions that I recommend people ask, always is directed towards, all right, listen, some people lie. A lot of people lie. They don't tell you the whole story. They don't tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, right? They don't
Liars
tell you
are liars.
Man. Especially when it comes to legal things, right? Because number one, they know it's gonna cost, and they may be trying to get away from that. But really try your best to figure out what it is that this person really wants. And then if you can get close to that, you don't have to get it exactly right, but you can get close to it, you can definitely help the person. And that's what I really focus on, man. And it makes a difference.
The pricing issue is a very touchy subject in the notary industry. I don't know why, because shit, we're all here to make money, right?
Yeah.
But it's a very, very like taboo type of thing. Like, oh my God, he's talking about price. Oh my God, the mandate of the law, and the Secretary of State will come, the feds will come banging down your door, telling you and your kids to get down on the floor, all kind of crazy stuff like that. Why do you believe that notaries are having such a hard time demanding and getting the price that they're looking to achieve? Because you can go on YouTube today, right now, right after this notary war room. Don't do it right now. Wait till the notary war room is over. But you could go on YouTube and find people, I mean, bodaciously bragging about getting $50, $60, $40 for loan signings, printing out 300 things of paper, scan backs, FedEx runs, and act like, yo, this is a come up. I just came up, y'all. Check this out. And I'm documented. Now what? Like, they're really bold and audacious about it. And then you'll have a person like me or Tech or Don or anybody from the Ghost Squad that will do one assignment with one page or 13 pages and triple what that person did. So it would take that person 3 appointments to make what this other notary did in 1 appointment. Now, it's up to you. If you want to be the Walmart of the notary industry and just run appointments like crazy and make minimum dollar, just, sell a lot, but, you're making very, very small profit margins, more power to you. That's not a business model I like, because I'm not trying to run appointments all day. I'd like to run very small amount of appointments, but make the most amount of money per appointment. Tech, talk on that. Why do you feel that there's a lot of notaries really struggling to make a decent living? Because we had Dawn on here last week, and she was like, "You should be making about like 60 grand in this business," and I replied, "Part time, you should be making that in this industry because you really can do that." What do you say about that, bro?
Yeah, you're right on. It might be difficult for people to kind of grasp that quote, but you're absolutely right. Pricing is the difference between you working 2,080 hours versus 280 hours. The difference between you working overtime, asking for raises, being upset at the title company or signing service or your customer, God forbid, the difference between you resenting your loved ones, sleeping comfortably at night, the difference between you folding every 3 to 6 months and having to pivot, the difference between you adding these unrelated services and searching and reaching, the difference between you closing your doors prematurely, the difference between you enjoying having a great experience, looking forward to talking to your customers, the difference is pricing. You can work 2,000 hours this year, or you can work 200, or you can work 150 hours. It's up to you. How do you do that, Tech? How do you do that? What's that? Listen, the difference is how are you assessing the worth of your time every hour of your day? How is it assessed? How do you value it? It takes me 30 minutes to get to an appointment. It takes me 10, 15 minutes to sit inside someone's house. Maybe longer. Maybe they talk a lot. I don't know. Maybe I talk a lot. And then it takes me another 30 minutes to go get like a burger, some food, drive back to my house. An hour of your time, right? Well, if you only walk away with $65, and then after that you have to spend another 30 minutes going to the FedEx store, or you have to spend another 30 minutes emailing a client or following up with a phone call or texting somebody, all that stuff, it factors into you working. And matter of fact, you know what, Tiger? The clock starts running as soon as you pick up the phone.
100%. Absolutely.
Did you guys know that? Did you guys know that? As soon as you answer the phone call, the clock is ticking. Yeah. You are spending money as soon as you answer the phone. So you are already, fighting out of a hole. You're already in a deficit. Now, the beauty of that is you can recover all of it. You really can, right? And it goes back to what we talked about, communication, asking questions. But the pricing issue is a big one because people are afraid of it. People are afraid that they will be told no. Can you imagine that? Somebody telling you no?
Oh, I look forward to
it. Can you imagine that somebody saying, Tiger, no? Can you imagine?
Taking it to the dating world, right? I'll say this. And this is me, Tech, right? Like, I have high standards when it comes to dating. Like when I was in the dating world, it was dimes and up.
Only.
That's it. Like dimes and like I'm not falling in like between, and I'm not falling with the low level. It has to be the baddest chick in the room, right?
Right.
Now, come on, like hell yeah, I'm gonna get a lot of no's. There's times I knew I was way out of my league, bro. Way out of my league. But the fact is this, I felt that the more baddies I talk to, the more I will understand how a baddie thinks. And I'm not talking about this new baddie. I'm talking about like 1980s, 1990s, early 2000s. These baddies with the tattoo on the thigh, I don't know what they on. You know what I mean? That's not my vibe right now. I'm married. I've been married for like 18 years. I don't do that one right there. But what I'm saying is, the more a baddie would reject me, the better equipped I was for the next baddie I talk to. So that goes for the notary business. I took the same principle. The more that a customer would say no, I would find out exactly why they rejected me. So the next phone call that I got, I was able to close them more effectively.
Yes. Yes.
Very important.
And if it was and if they say, well, you know what? Because I'll straight up ask, just out of curiosity, why not us? I just want to know, why didn't you pick us? Just want to know. Oh, well, you cost too much. And if they tell you, see, that's even better. Oh, it's just too expensive. Oh, I don't get paid until Friday. Oh, I have to talk to my wife. Oh, I'm just calling around. Oh, the last person said it was only $5. Oh, the last time I got a notary, it was free. I can just go to my bank. Like, people say all these type of things. But you know what, Tiger? It's really just one thing. It's really just one thing. You know that, right? It might be two, but it's one thing. And the second part is probably just a little variation of that first one. The only objection, the only no that I really have ever gotten out of all the years I've done this, it's only one thing that people say no about. Why does it cost so much? And here's the thing. And the variation of that is, oh, I see how much it costs, but why do I have to pay for it first? Why do I have to pay for it now? Can I pay for it in cash? You guys accept cards in person, right? It's the same variation, but it's just same thing, slight variation of it. But here's the thing I want to really stress to you: don't worry about the nose. It's not the nose. It's not. What you want that. You want people to say, why does it cost so much? Isn't that what you want to hear? Why is it? Oh my God, it was free at my bank. You want people to tell you why they say no, because they'll, like you said, buyers are liars. They might say, oh, you know what? I don't get off work until 5 o'clock. I'll call you back. Just hold on for one moment. Is it really about the time? Is it really about the time? Is it? Because if it is, then you're flexible with your time. It sounds like you're flexible with your schedule. We can still accommodate your request. We can still have someone be able to execute this important information that you have. So it's not really about the time, right? It's about the price, isn't it? Yeah, well, what were you expecting? Well, I was expecting it to be, the last weekend I had somebody coming out to my house and it was free. Free?
Yeah.
You said it says public in the name, right? See, now you understand who is this person I'm dealing with. This person probably they saw the word public and they thought, oh yeah, public assistance, right? They must be thinking this is a free service. Okay. If something was free, not only would I not recommend it to you, but because this is such an important document, right? It is an important legal power of attorney for your son as he goes off to college. This is why it's important to gather information, right? $1 million cost for it. If it was free, I wouldn't recommend it and it wouldn't be worth your time. If it was free and it did not accomplish what it is that you were trying to achieve, was it worth it? the corner store person who pulls up to your house and wears flip flops in a Chicago Cubs jersey with a backwards hat on and sunglasses, gets to your house, stamps your power of attorney. Your grandfather transitions on. You now need to make, or not even like they pass away, but this is a real story. Person, one of your power of attorney, mother had dementia. A confirmed diagnosis, had the doctor's letter and everything, the doctor's note. Here's a problem. She had a retirement account that the daughter had to get access to. They took the shortcut. It's all about money. Every notary is about money. In this situation, they wanted to go cheap. Turns out that they signed the wrong document. The person who went out and executed the notarization, they signed the wrong document. All of a sudden now, this is the information that we gather, right? Because I like to say we do revision cases. People come to us after they've already gone somewhere else and they screwed up. Not all the time, but in this case. And I said, sounds like you've been working on this for a while. She said, yeah, the last person, or the last time we submitted the document, it got rejected. I said, yeah, it probably did. I wonder why. The reason why it got rejected is because the person who did it for $5 didn't pay attention. They resented having to come out there and deal with a mom who had dementia. And then they thought about it. They said, oh, well, instead of me, putting my name on a piece of paper that I know is for a woman who has dementia, I'm just going to do it wrong. And then they just drove off. They didn't take any care of it. They didn't stop them. They didn't, present any alternatives or anything like that. So you get what you pay for, but the pricing is a big problem, and it's an easily fixable problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's something where you work either 2,000 hours or you work 200 hours, and the way that you do that is you compress time. How much is an hour worth of your time? Well, how much availability do you have? And then what hours do you actually operate? Do you work 8 to 8? Do you work 9 to 5? Do you work 6 to 10? Do you work 7 to 11? How many hours do you actually have available in the time? So you take the amount of money that you need in a month. How much money do you need per month? All your bills, all your responsibilities. I'm not talking about your entertainment. I'm not talking about your weed. I'm not talking about your liquor addiction. I'm not talking about all that. I'm talking about what are the things that absolutely must get paid: your rent, mortgage, car note, insurance, cell phone bill, cable, all those things. Not even the food. Take those things, add that up, divide it by the number of hours that you have available, your business hours, and then that's going to give you a number. That number is what you should be charging per hour.
Mm-hmm. We take a couple of comments real quick. So Tanika said, I get so many notaries who are discouraged because side of their first or second quote is a no. Then they come back to me like, I'm charging too high. No, you're not. What you are is not confident. How important is confidence when you're taking a sales call, a notary call, a notary sales call, I should call it?
Yeah.
How important is that, Tech?
Yeah, and you talk about this a lot, which is, I think is so important. So I put so much emphasis on this. Yeah, thanks. That's a great point, because that's where people get discouraged. It starts from the moment you pick up the phone. It starts from the moment you answer with this, which is a professional greeting. Professional greeting. This person has to know who they're talking to. Number one, it starts from there. And then secondly, I can't give a specific answer to that question, because I would have to hear what that person is saying to trigger that price question. Because that people are asking you, or people are telling you that you charge too high because, number one, or they're thinking that they're basing their value on the price. You know what I mean? What they're saying is what you have presented or what I'm paying for, it doesn't actually correlate, right? I don't see why I'm paying $138 for just a stamp. Like they can't correlate that because that's what they're doing. It's not, but that's not what they're paying for, right? They're actually paying for the ability to go and get their LLC agreement updated at the county. Like they're paying for the uh, daughter to go travel to her grandmother in Costa Rica, right? So I would have to listen to the phone call specifically, which is something you talk about. Record your phone calls. Assess yourself. Listen to what you say, and I guarantee along the lines there's something that you say that triggers somebody thinking, "Oh, this either sounds um, very expensive, or when they told me that it costs $138, it doesn't sound like that's what I'm paying for." And then they just stay focused on that. And once somebody says that, it's not all lost. You can always bring it back from that. But if you're not skilled or at least familiar with how to bring that person back in, or at least try to refocus the conversation, then it's basically a lost cause. You might, once they say that, then it's basically a wrap. If you don't understand how to now refocus the conversation away from the price. But yeah, it certainly starts with the fact that something you're saying in the phone call, something you're saying in that transaction is triggering them to think about the price. And I know what it is. A lot of times notaries will bring up the price without even, like, the customer didn't even ask. They didn't even ask. They didn't even care, but you brought it up, and now you've given up your own objection. You presented this concern that the person now has.
Yeah, I see confidence being crucial in your delivery, because think about going to a restaurant or going to a bar, right? Like my wife likes to ask the waiter or waitress, how's this meal or how's that meal, right? And then sometimes the waiter or the waitress will be like, not my favorite. You know what I mean? Now, mind you, my wife's taste buds could be dramatically different from the waiter or waitress's taste buds. But because the waiter's confidence in that meal was not high enough, she will skip it. She'll be like, okay, let's see what else you have on the menu. So the same thing with the notary business. If your confidence level is like, I'm looking to get a power of attorney, and you're like, ooh, a power of attorney. Okay, I've done one of those before.
Oh my God.
I've worked on one of those before. I think I'm pretty familiar of it. It might take me a while to finish it, with you guys, but if you're willing to bear with me.
And immediately the customer says, "Oh, how much is it?" Because they hear it. They say, "Well, I'm not. How much is this going to be?"
And if you're me, I'm not gonna even say that. I'll be like, I'll just call somebody else.
Easy.
I'm not even gonna bother with you, because you already raised doubt in my mind that the possibility of a mistake being made is extremely high.
100%.
And I don't want to. So you put yourself in the customer's shoes. The customer now thinks, okay, if I get this executed and then it's done incorrectly, now I have to call you back, possibly take some time off of work to get this done the right way, then go to wherever else that person has to go through, because they're probably going to have to go through multiple locations, right? They might have to go to a bank. They might have to send it out to a pension board. They may have to take it to the Secretary of State. Who knows? that lack of confidence raises so much doubt, and they'll run with it.
Yeah, that's so. Number one, that's a problem because number one, people don't follow a call script, and then they refuse to do it. The call script, the $1 million call script, changed my life. It completely revamped everything. There's levels to this, Tiger. There's levels. You
Indeed.
can start at the beginning, you can start in the middle, you can start at the top, but you don't have to stay in any of those positions. You can actually, elevate. There's elevated levels to this, and the call script definitely made a difference. And here's the thing, yeah, it's so underrated to role play with skilled negotiators or people who at least have real life experience and skin in the game. It's so crucial to role play. Now, you can do it with real live ammunition, right? You can do it with real customers with real money at stake. You can do it like that, and then understand you're gonna get some no's. Some people will say no, and you will lose the opportunity. That's fine. But like you said, like you're dealing with a beautiful woman in the dating world, that no, that rejection, that perspective, you can look at that as a learning experience, or you can go jump off a bridge, It's not the end of the world. The fact is, what you take away, the intel that you gather, is going to help the next time. If you're open and you're honest and reflecting on how you perform. And also, at the end of the day, you want to get 100% of the calls, but you're not going to get 100% of them. It's just, I mean, not even I get 100%. I mean, I strive to get 100%, and I don't. I mean, what was the longest phone call you've ever been on? I just want to know.
Like an hour plus.
Seriously?
Yeah. An hour plus. And then the broad stiffs me on the price.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'll never forget her, man. She changed my business model forever.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I was gonna say 18 minutes was the longest call I've ever been on, and I didn't close the deal. But it's just because I kept going back. An hour is crazy, man. Oh my God. That's
because
crazy.
It was my fault. I'll tell you real briefly what happened. She started going on a tangent because we connected on the phone call, right? We built like really instant rapport with each other. Then she started going off about her child over here and how she visited Paris on this, and she works for the city of, and it was my fault because I didn't control the conversation too much. I just let her ramble. Now I did close the deal, but she wound up stiffing me for the other half of the payment, which was, and then I wind up sending her a real nasty text. You're like, you crooks, shiesty bitch. You know what I mean? Like it got ugly. It got friendly and ugly in a matter of hours, bro.
You show up at her house?
No.
Knock on her door?
No, not it's not enough money for me to do that.
Yeah.
Now, if I was a crackhead, yeah. I'll break through a window, take her VCR, her Blu-ray, all that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can end up on these long, drawn out phone calls. So now, what about now? What's your average phone call now? The time?
Oh, 5 minutes, 5 to 10. 10 is really stretching it. That's if I if it's 10 minutes, that means I'm really upselling a lot of products or services that I have in there. So it'll stretch out to 10 minutes, but for the most part, it's like 5 minutes or less.
Yeah, I recently did an audit of my phone call. So I have about 411 phone calls, all recorded sessions where I'm talking to different people, doing process serving, notary, apostille. I don't do fingerprinting, but people call me about that. And, in this range of people, there's individuals, there's companies, law firms, business roofing companies, startups, tech companies, all the whole thing. I have a collection of 411 calls, and the average phone call for me is 5 minutes and 12 seconds. And sometimes it's faster than that, and I have, videos of this where it's 75 seconds, it's 60 seconds. You're on the phone, you close the deal, one question. When would you like me to come? What time do you want me to be there? Right. One question, close the deal. And the way that the business model is set up is to promote those very quick settlements of phone calls. It's designed that way because for a business, and I think that people confuse that word business owner in the notary industry, not notary business, all right? The notary industry, they confuse that word business owner. My business model is designed to get off the phone very quickly. And I understand that's not everybody's cup of tea. That's not how everybody rolls. But that's over here, that's how we roll, because as a business owner, my goal is to remove myself from having to be there. I want to be independent of how the business operates. I want, because I understand my perspective of how business operates is that I can't be the business. It can't be me. I can't be the person who does this and does that, does all of the things. So getting off the phone, which is one of the crucial contact points, the phone call, the engagement, that's crucial. That has to be quick. The rest of the appointment, going out to the house, driving, snapping, being cordial and courteous to the family, the reminder emails and all that stuff, the collection of the payment, all that stuff, that can be easily outsourced. It can be that task can be handled by anyone other than me. So I understand 5 minutes and 12 seconds is what I can give. Sometimes it's less, sometimes a little bit more, but that's how important it is. And I think if I can get my time on the phone faster, which is really what my next, and I will announce this here on the Notary War Room, my final gift to notary entrepreneurs and notary business owners everywhere. My final gift to the notary industry will be the ability to get off the phone in less than, to not even be on the phone at all, but if necessary, then to be on the phone in less than 60 seconds. And that way you can get more appointments done, get back to your family, you can go travel, you can be in location independent, you can go do whatever it is that you need to do and still operate a notary business or notary franchise if that's really what you want to do.
Yeah, bro, that's heavy. It's you have a package coming up. You have an offer that we're going to present, and for those that haven't seen the banner popping up at the bottom, scan that QR code so you can see how you can double your customer base in 30 days if you're starting from scratch. Now, I want to address my audience here because I have a eclectic audience, right? I have people that are side hustlers. They're looking for their next side hustle gig. The notary business is a great side hustle gig if that's what you're looking for, because it's part-time. You can make your own hours. You can set your own rates, that type of stuff, right? Then I also have another section of audience, which are brand new notaries. Now, I want you to pay attention. Tech is a samurai, okay? So the fact that he's closing deals in 60 seconds, I would not recommend you as a new notary to try to close a deal in 60 seconds. You're going to have to get in there a little bit and kind of understand the market that you're talking to, the temperature, the mannerism and personalities you're talking to. This is great intel for you. Then we also have notaries that's been in the industry for their first commission year, which should be about 4 years. And then we have veterans up in this game that want to go back to the basics sometimes, and they want some advanced learning at the same time. So I have a very wide audience that listen to these shows, and they're elite as hell, and I love you guys for that. But I want you guys to know that you're talking to Tech is a samurai at this. Like he is that dude when it comes to this business. So you're not really listening to somebody that doesn't have skills in the game and is not charging high pricing for their notary. He is not that $40 loan signing dude. He's not. Nowhere near it. He's the type of dude like he gives the price and you can hear the person falling out the chair. you hear them choke on their Starbucks. Did you say wait?
They start stuttering.
Right.
Remember that time the guy was stuttering. He was like, what?
What up, fingerprinting guru?
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, talk about this package that you have going on, this bundle package, bro.
Yeah, man, you're making me cry, man. That's listen, if I could change, here's my thing, guys. I don't know why my tears were. Because it's so listen, we enjoy what we do. We really, really have fun. And we want you to do it too. We want you to have fun because it is fun. It is a lot of fun. You can have so much fun. But here's the thing. If I can change your perspective on what a business is and what it is and how a business operates. If I can change your perspective on what a notary business is and how a notary business operates, then I think you can walk away a much happy person today. I can't, in one video or one Instagram clip, I can't convey all of that perspective and context in just this hour that we just spent together. I can't do it. It's just impossible, okay? So don't expect to watch this and then walk away. Maybe you got something from it. Hopefully you did, but you're not going to get all that you need. It's just impossible. So what I've done is the collection of what I think is the most important components, the most important aspects of what it takes to go from where you currently are now to where you want to go, wherever that is. It unquestionably has to do with the communication in the phone call. It's not just picking up the phone. It's what do you say the moment you pick up the phone, the first question, the second, third, and how do you get to the finish line? How do you get off so that you don't be on the phone for an hour like Tiger or 18 minutes or 10 minutes? Because the truth is you got to get back to your life. You can't just be talking to somebody about nothing for the next 8 minutes when you have kids who are hungry, or you have to drive to work, or you on break. So if I can take you from where you currently are now, and I know it's possible because there's just probably one thing or maybe two that you're not doing. That's it. The moment you engage with somebody, whether it's email or whether it's phone call, there is a specific approach that I can help you take that from the 411 case studies that I have. I can see, well, here's what actually gives me a good result. And here's where people start to question whether or not it costs too much. And here's where people try to say, well, the UPS store can do a better job. I can help you with that. And it all comes back to how do you conduct a phone call. Now, so I can't do it in just one YouTube video. That's why I put it together in this package here so that you can follow a step-by-step approach. Like, look at some of these titles. Look, all right, you can actually talk. Now, this is the part number one is very, very important. I'm going to be real quick about this. The closer you can get to the source, the better. This is why I talk to Tiger. This is why I talk with Andre Hatchett. I don't talk to the people who learn from them. And if you can get close to the source of the information, people get on YouTube and they talk and they just say whatever they want. And you don't know where they got that information from. You don't know where it came from. Did they just make it up? You don't know. See, people can get on TV and just say any old thing.
Mm-hmm.
Anything. You don't know where this information comes from. How has this been validated? How do we know this works? What proof have you shown? How do I know that I'm not wasting my time? That's why you go to the source, or you get as close to the source as possible. And you can actually, we can talk. This is where the money is made. It's in the one-on-ones. It's what we can fine tune and refine what you're saying, how you're coming across, how urgent you sound, how's your tone, how fast are you talking? Are you slowing the person down when they ask for a power of attorney? Right? Are you being humorous? Do you crack jokes? Right? All these different things. That's where part number one. Part number two, you can download the Notary Marketing Guide. That contains the local pro call script, the local professional call script. Most people are local. Not everybody is nationwide or even statewide or regional. Most people just operate within their county or their city. So you can answer your phone calls in a way that people see you as a professional, the authority in your city. I mean, that's what the marketing guide does. You're going to see some live calls. If you don't have a chance to role play with other people, with real life customers, you can do it with real life customers. You can do it with other skilled customers or skilled negotiators. But you have to watch and see the breakdown. This is why I said this. This is why I answered the phone this way. This is why I took the line of questioning that way. So you can see that in the live calling, and then the perfecting your intake process, the ultimate guide to perfecting the intake process. How do you signal to your callers that they are in fact they are just like when you go to the hospital or you go to see a doctor, they have you fill out your medical history, your prescription history, your surgical history. They want to know, you are now filling out a clipboard. You understand that you are getting ready to be seen. You have to convey that message to people, and then also your profitable empire, how to price yourself. That's the biggest question, part number 5. And then there's some other specials where I talk about Google Ads. We're at the very bottom. See, this is the big one. And to finish off the bundle, the biggest issue that people have with is, well, all right, I know I have to answer my phone. I know, but how do I get people to call me? How do I can't answer my phone if nobody's calling me. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So the best source, the fastest, the easiest way that you can get your phone to ring is through Google Ads. You have to pay for it. You can waste a lot of money on Google, right? Google is they're not a multi-billion-dollar company for nothing. Not for nothing. Okay, so they will charge you because that's what they expect. They think that you want, what they have, so they're going to charge you for it. But how do you optimize your campaigns on Google? How do you make sure that you're not wasting cash? And it's really just 2 simple things: documenting what you do and then refining that. And most people don't take the time to write down what's happening. They don't take the time to go back and check to see what went right, what went wrong. But I'm going to show you how to do that with the Google Ads. So that bundle is probably valued at about $3,000. Just the Google thing alone is over $3,000. That amount, you can spend, $300 a month for Google Ads, and then that could return about $5,000 in your notary business, like even Don was mentioning earlier. What you should be making, or what you should be, reasonably speaking, what you should be earning on a part-time basis, what you should be earning reasonably in the 50 to 60K range. If you're pricing it correctly, if you're monitoring your time, and your client volume is consistent. That's not unreasonable. So I put that together for you. It's one of the last gifts that I'm going to offer to the notary industry, and this is a special one. I think it's very special.
So if you guys are interested, the link is in the description of the YouTube videos, and you can scan that QR code, whether you're watching that on Instagram or LinkedIn. Just scan the QR code. They'll take you to that landing page. That's a discounted price as well, right? It's $59.99. Is that right?
That's the discounted price for the Notary War Room, not just the readers or the viewers, But for the next 30 days, that price will be in effect
Nice.
for the next 30 days. So today is actually it's September or October 1st, rather. So he had a little more than 30 days. But just in case, just as we go into the fall season, the end of the year, this is people, you can use the notary industry as notice I didn't say business, okay? I'm being very selective when I say that. You can use the notary industry to accomplish whatever it is that you need to do. As we approach the end of the year, you know, don't go into next year, thinking, you know what, it's going to be different this time. It's going to be different. I'm going to try this. I'm going to try. Why go back to the drawing board and then start from scratch all over again? Sometimes it's just one thing that you need to change. Maybe it's two things. And getting used to the concept of reinvesting into yourself and reinvesting into your notary business, um, especially as you're approaching the end of the year, it's going to give you that refreshed, renewed, bring you some momentum so that you can finish this year strong. And then you can start off, you can already be ahead once the new year begins. So yeah, next 30 days, people who take action will be rewarded. People who wait, people who sit on the fence, and people who think about it and should I, I don't know. Those people, they'll be the ones who may not have the results. Okay. Don't let that be you.
And Tech, do you have any last words for the audience?
Yeah, I hope I helped you change your perspective on what a notary business is. I hope I can change your perspective or at least evolve your viewpoint on what a notary business really is. Is it just signing up for signing services and putting your name on a database? Is it just putting your name on a listing directory? Hundreds of them, by the way, where other hundreds of notaries are. And people always are going to have options. They'll always have, I can watch this podcast, I can listen to this YouTube channel, I can drive this car, I can live in this neighborhood. People will always have their option, their choice of whether or not I should go with you as a notary. Why should I go with you? But if I can help you change your perspective as to what a notary business is and what service you can actually offer and how it can benefit you, then I've done my job. And you can leave this this notary war room a happier person if I can help you change or at least evolve your perspective on what a notary business is and how a notary business is operated. Starts with a cost script, starts with role playing, starts with pricing. Those three things. Having those three things in place will make the world of a difference. You'll start to set yourself apart. You can then answer the questions that the people who, when they call you, they only have one question, which is when can you come? Now, they may ask you what time do you close, or do you take walk-ins, or can you recommend a good printer? Right? They may say those things, but really what they're asking you is, what time can you come to my house and help me get this power of attorney signed? So you can answer that question, and using the call script, knowing what to charge, and being an effective communicator, that can make you a better notary business owner.
And ladies and gentlemen, I personally endorse this, the Ultimate Notary Bundle. I've seen the type of work Tech has put in, and it is stellar. There's at $59, like it's a steal, an absolute steal. You're gonna get way more value. It's a great buy. It really is, and I would recommend that to most notaries, even if you've been in the game for 15 years, because there's new things that are happening. Customers' buying habits are changing every single day. There are things that you're going to learn on this that is not taught on the open market. And you don't have to watch somebody drive to somebody else's house and do a loan signing for $40 and thinking, oh, yeah, this is what my pay is going to be. Hell no, dude. No.
The Google stuff alone is worth it. No, you don't even hear people talking about how to do paid advertising. Like that alone will take you to the next level. So
yeah. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, peace, love, and happiness. We wish you the very best. Continue to strive, continue to be a success. Don't be so hard on yourself. Take those micro steps, build that momentum, and let's get this money, man. You heard?